Hey there, I'm going to show you today how to replace a side view driver's side mirror on a 2011 through 2014 Explorer. So I had the unfortunate circumstance of actually hitting my side view mirror into my garage. So it cracked the bezel piece, cracked the inside piece, and so I want to replace this. So fortunate for me, when that happened, the glass actually popped off. So what you're seeing here is actually, I've already done the work. I've just put some things back together so that I can show you how to put this thing back together. So really the difference, what you want is when you get the part in from Ford, this bezel part is painted to your color. So you need to switch this from the part this is my old one, and I popped on the new piece onto here, but I'm going to show you how to get this off of your new one and old one and switch these out so that you don't have to get this painted. So I was fortunate that the glass popped off. You'll see here there's a couple of wires connected. You're just gonna tug at that. I think those are for the heated wires. Just for information, there's like 8 tabs on the back of here that connect the motor assembly into this mirror. So if you ever crack this mirror, it's probably impossible to extract those tabs and replace the mirror itself. If you crack that, you're probably looking at changing the whole assembly. So there's the assembly, and what I'm going to do now is there's 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. I'm going to remove those 4 screws, pause the video, and then I'm going to show you how this front bezel part is actually held into place. So again, these 4 screws only hold in this front bezel, and I'll remove those. Okay, so I have just removed the bezel. You're going to need a Torx screwdriver to be able to remove those screws, and you'll see here that this bezel now just lifts off out of place. You can see how I've cracked that. So if you can just look at this to zoom in. So there are a couple of tabs here. So there's a tab here, and there's actually a tab here that are holding this into place. And there's actually one deep down in the deep corner. So what I'm going to do is actually put this bezel back into place, and I'm going to show you for your vehicle how to pop it off the way I did it to be able to switch out that bezel. So I just put the bezel back on. Now just a friendly reminder, if you're just not replacing the glass, well, if you are replacing the glass or the bezel, this glass is going to be fastened. So just keep in mind that you're not going to have access to those screws, and you don't need access to those screws. Okay? So what you want to do is we want to release the snaps. So there's one snap here, one snap here, one snap here, and there's one snap underneath there. So what I did to protect the bezel assembly is I actually just took some painter's tape and I just protected the edges, okay, because I'm going to get inside this with a screwdriver. So I'm not going to be as careful as I was because my job is complete already. I have the new assembly on, but just protect. What I did was I just protected this edge. So what you're going to want to do is actually get your screwdriver underneath here. As long as you can sort of guide it into where the paint is, you'll see it start to lift up a little bit, okay? And you need to release that tab, okay? Now that tab is going to want to spring back into place. So then what I did, hope my hands aren't getting in the way too much, is I got this released, and then I put another screwdriver just underneath to keep that tab from re-engaging, okay? And I just stuck that in there to keep that upward pressure on it. Then you go to where the next tab is, and remember, so what you're doing here is this is the surface that you see, so you can be a little bit more aggressive inside there if you need to, but that should just sort of lift off into place. Okay, you see it start to lift up. Okay, and then once you get that, then you can sort of wiggle this thing out of its snaps. You can get your other screwdriver in behind this little lip surface. And you can see it just snapped back in. So again, I'm getting a little bit more aggressive on this just for purposes of this video, but take your time on this one. See if you can lift it out of place, because this is the way the replacement piece came. So you could actually hear that snaps disengaged, and now you can see that the 1, 2, 3 snaps have disengaged. Then what I did was, because there is also a snap on the end, I just took this and just kind of wiggled it out. Okay, so this, as long as these edge snaps are disengaged, again, take your time at it. And again, for purposes of this video, I may just be a little bit more aggressive with it than I need to be, but there's going to be another snap, and there's a little another piece being just held into place. So you just sort of leave this underneath, wiggle that out. When I did it, it actually snapped out nicely for me. Okay, so I've just popped the bezel off. So actually what you want to make sure you do is that you get a last screwdriver sort of lifting underneath there, and then sort of wiggle it out in the bottom. So this is what this is actually what it looks like. You see that? So this here is where one tab was snapped into. It was just resting against there. Here's where a second snap tab, third snap tab, and then you have you had a snap tab there and a snap tab there, and 2 little locating nubs. Okay, so if you can see those tabs, so what I did was I lifted, and then lifted off a little bit there and just pulled the thing out. So you want to switch that piece so you don't have to get it painted, and basically it's as easy as shoving it forward and snapping it back into place. Okay, so here's the part that we were just messing around with, and you can see that I've already switched out the painted part of the bezel. So what I'm just going to show you is now how to replace the side view mirror. Okay, so I'll put that down. And so basically this is really, really easy. What you're going to do is come around to the inside of the vehicle. This is an absolutely easy disassembly. You do not have to take the door off. Just get a screwdriver sort of in behind this plastic bezel here, okay? And there are 3 clips that are holding this in place. Okay, so you're just going to lift from inside. You're going to hear a little pop sound. That's okay, don't be scared. Just sort of lift it straight out if you can, because I'll show you that in a second. And so here's what you have. You have 3 plastic tabs with 3 metal clips, and they snap into here, here, and here. So there's 3 points of fixation for this. Here's your connector. So you're just going to undo this connector. It did just pop out. It's cold here today, so plastic might just be a little bit rigid. Okay, so that just pops out like so. There's 3 points of fixation. There's 1, 2, and there's another screw right here. Okay, so I'm not actually going to undo this, but what one little trick I'm going to recommend, I have this magnetic retriever. It's a very inexpensive device, so that you don't have to take the whole panel off. You're going to take one with a 10 millimeter wrench. You're going to take that one off. You're going to take this one off, okay? Just slowly dial that out. And then you're going to get inside here, if we can get that on video. You're probably gonna get it on the other side, and you're going to take that screw off. What I recommend is when it gets toward the end of travel, what you do is you have your magnet just above the screw itself. The last few threads, I recommend you just spin it with your fingers to get it off, and let the magnet grab it. Because if that drops down into the door, then you're into taking your whole door off. So just take this off carefully. So basically, put it back on, reinsert your connector, and your mirror is back in action. Thanks for watching the video. Good luck.